Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day today. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Had that extra day. I was able to just detox from the market for 24 hours, and that was a good thing. Sometimes you need it. You really need it sometimes. Well, what I did, you know, was I did my work on Saturday, did my work on Sunday, and I said from this time on Sunday to this time on Monday, no trading, nothing to do with trading. Just complete and utter blackout. And it worked pretty good. Worked pretty good. I need to take those days, every now and then. All right, so going in this morning, I had 6 stocks that I was looking at for earnings. And I'm going to start posting these more because what I do at night is I look at what stocks are going to report earnings. I look to make sure they have some decent volume. And, a good looking chart, really. So, but this morning on Walmart, WMT, this was the only one that was hitting my scans with any volume. The rest of these really didn't have any volume. So it was disappointing. Usually I'd have at least 2 or 3. I only have 1. So this became my main focus, my number one focus going into the morning. But I had one problem to deal with before this all came about. So if you saw my recap video on Friday or Saturday, I can't remember when I posted it. You saw, I was stuck in a position. What happened? I got stopped out on the first trade, and the second trade was, now this, I would take this any day. Now I know looking at this after the fact, you could ask, well, why would you even get in this trade? Well, this candle was solid red for a little bit. We rejected VWAP here. We rejected it here. Rejected it here. Here this candle open right here, and we were going down. This was solid red. And we were showing some serious weakness. So I got in. I'm like, well, now it's ready to go. And, it wasn't. And then not long after I got in, this thing shot back up. And that was about what caused my blood to start boiling. It had been a tough week already. We had a good day the day before. I was looking for another good day to close out the week. The market just was not there for me. And, I was forcing myself on the market. So I just set my stop here. I think it was 70, what was it? 69.75. And I just cut my platform off. And I never logged back into it until later on that evening when I was getting ready to put my recap stuff together so I could do my video, and realized I was stuck in the trade. My stop loss rejected, or I don't know what happened with it. It wasn't there anymore. So which leads me to believe it got rejected. But because I logged back in, any message on the level 2 montage was not there. So I just assumed that it got canceled because I know for a fact I put it in there. And I was down, over $1,400. And so I was like, I'm going to be going into next week, a short week, down $1,400. And I honestly came into this morning, not even wanting to cut my platform on. I didn't even want today to start. And I had to pull out my trading psychology toolbox in order to get me back on track. Because, even though I was starting the day with adversity, it's the adversity that challenges us. That gives us the opportunity. The obstacles that we face create the opportunity for us to learn and to get better. And how my day was going to go was going to be determined by how I approached my adversity. Was I going to sit here and have a pity party, or was I going to get engaged and look and see if I can manage my position to stop some of the bleeding? And, that's where I started the morning. And we have to face our adversities head on. We sit back and just let them come to us, it's going to roll all over us. But if we meet those adversities head on and we tackle them, then we're going to learn from it. We're going to continue to grow and continue to get better. So with KHC, I looked at the daily chart, and here was the candle from Friday. And I was like, this does look a little strong. But we'll see what happens this morning. If we open below and hold below the 70.25 level, then I'm going to be, holding on to it. I'm going to, see how much I could get and, maybe not take as bad of a loss. I was already mentally prepared to take a loss. I was mentally prepared over the weekend to take a $1,500 loss. So me sitting here and analyzing this, gave me some confidence in that, I've got a plan. If my plan works, I'm going to limit the damage and may even go green. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I made the mistake and I need to deal with it. So this is what I was looking at first, and then I went to the intraday chart, and you could see we couldn't get really over this 70-75 level, and at the open we sold off real hard, and we sold off below the 70-25 level. So again, I was like, as long as we establish below this, I'm going to let it go and see if I could, really, stop some of the bleeding. And, we had this big move down and it started chopping around and it ended up chopping me out. I mean, I could have gone down and had a better exit here. At my entry, it was 68.45, and I came close here, but the emotions that I felt coming in to the day, it kind of played its toll on me. It was in the back of my mind. I knew how much I was down, and I had to do what I had to do to deal with it. And still, had to take a $560 loss, but it was a whole lot better than the $1,500 loss that I thought I was going to be dealing with. Now, in hindsight, had I just left this thing on, I could have been in the money. I could have made money on this. But, knowing what I was down and dealing with it all weekend, I wasn't mentally tough enough to allow this to work. And I knew it, and I even said it, in chat. I just didn't have the mental fortitude in order to work this the way I really needed to work it. But I was thankful. I only took a $560 loss on this. And I think it was the best thing for me to do, just to lock it up and move on. And that's what I did. And moved on and was, working with this Walmart. Now, with it, I was really excited. We had the bottom of this gap. This is the gap. This is where we gapped up here. We had pulled all the way back. And I was looking, some people were looking long on this off of the 90-day here. I was looking short into this channel, into this gap. That's what I was looking. So this was never a long for me. Never really a long. I knew that it was going to get a fight. I knew that there are, big guys are in Walmart. There's big money in Walmart. And they're not going to want this thing to tank but so much. But I felt, because of what I saw pre-market and how weak this thing was, that we could at least get down to this 92 level. And so I was real pumped up, real excited about this, and was ready to jump all over it. And as you can see, I was a little bit overly excited. Now this trade was the best. This one, I watched it go up and sell off. Now, obviously, I would have traded this long had we held a VWAP and started establishing to the upside. But this is what I see day in and day out. The stock pushes up, it sells back off. And this is the weakest of the bullish candles. This is the weakest of the green candles. We had this long wick to the top, which was about 3 times the length of the body. And it was a failed attempt to push the 20, the VWAP, and the 9. So we open, we try to push again. This thing gets slapped down. I was going to get in here, but I waited until we got in under the 90-day because I wanted to use this as my guide. You can see we bounced off the 90-day here. Kind of bounced off of it here, but it was a little bit higher. So this was kind of holding in pre-market. And I wasn't going to take this short unless we broke through here. I didn't want this to the long side, but I did have a plan for the long side. Like I always say, you got to have a plan going both ways. So shorted it, got my first cover down here, and we bounced. And it looked like we were changing directions. I really got the feel that the momentum was changing, but it didn't. We sold off some more, so I got in on this 95.13 level, and I took profit here at this 94.70 level. I figured this would be a good place to take it. I know I was just scalping pretty much, but it's what I had. And I felt that I needed to trade in order to try and make up for, what I messed up. So I got stopped out here on this big push up, and I turned around and got short again right here. This was around 10-20. Got short here at 95.14. I took half at 94.86 because we were kind of stuck here. And then I went to take the rest of it off and ended up covering the 250 I was short plus adding 250 long. That was just an accident and ended up, just getting out of this after about a minute or two because I didn't think that was going to work. And then I get short under this level and we can't hold it. We pop up. I get stopped out. We reject the 20 here. And so I'm, at lunch, I'm just chilling. And I'm like, this has got to go. You know, I know this made the move pre-market. It made a huge move down. I know that kind of hurt how much room I would have, but you know, I thought this was going to be it. So I got in and had to hold through the VWAP test. And this was according to plan. You know, I had a stop at 95.60. I was going to give it to 95.60 if it bounced, because I had a strong feeling that this was going to fade toward the end of the day. I didn't realize these major players were this strong to hold us up. When we had a lot of people wanting to sell us off, they were holding us up. But, you know, once we got free, we made a move down. I was able to cover this trade right at the close. And, you know, through all of that and through the adversity in this trade, I ended up 367.37 profit on this. I know it's a lot of trading and a lot of hard work, but it helped with my mentality and being able to hold the stock and trusting the technicals. You know, let me know that I'm back where I need to be mentally. So pretty pleased with it. Ended up minus 217.51 today. And believe me, being down $1,500 at the start of the day and ending the day only down 217.51, this is exactly what I wanted, exactly what I envisioned. And it worked out. So I was pretty pleased with, even though I didn't get the moves I wanted and everything was, all the range was taken up pre-market, it was okay. You know, it was okay. So my earnings tomorrow, these are my earnings watches. I typically trade advance. I'm looking for it to roll over back down to maybe this to 100 or so. I'm looking for it to pull back to 100 and hold there. That's what I'm looking for. Here's the last earnings. You know, you can tell, but I'm looking for this to sell off a little bit in the morning early. I'm going to try to catch this early as soon as it reports. If I can be here, I want to be here and try to catch this early. If not, I'll wait. It typically gives us good moves throughout the day. And also be checking to see if these are going to work out for me. DLPH, you can see we had a sell-off day here. Everybody's selling off. If we have a gap down, then the gap down may get bought up on these. But I want to be in the trade, so when it starts to make that big move down pre-market, I'm going to have a little piece of it. Dish Network, GRMN. See, it's trading in this channel right here. But, you know, we're looking for it to get some earnings volatility on this. So give us a chance to trade it. So we'll be looking at these just to see if it has volume. Number one, they have to have volume. If they don't have volume, I can't trade it. So I'll be looking for volume on these, and then I'll be looking for the setup. All right, so that's gonna do it for me. You guys have a great night, a great evening, and I will see you guys first thing in the morning.